Right, folks. Well, let's hope we're recording this one properly and not like last time when there was no sound, so I couldn't publish the audio line 341. So we're on box sequence 6. So any of those people who've got repairs in, we're on box sequence 6. Remember, repairs are done at just one per week, whilst we're on a 19,000 hour organ restoration. So, what have we got here? Well, a whole lot. What I can say is, thank goodness it's only one set and not a box with about 5 in. Right. So it's a Cybernet 1000. I think the gentleman's a licensed radio ham like myself, and I think he's had a look at this, and I think he is struggling and has asked for my opinion. Clearly I've got a little bit of experience on these sets after 40 years. So, oh yeah, it's the one with it's got the noise squelch board, and was it an Ambit project? Yeah. Big enough preset, eh? Anyway, we're not. That's a noise squelch to improve the squelch. This was something. I think it was a magazine called Circuit. Was it? The company was Circuit. Anyway, so I can't remember what he said was wrong with it. So we will have a look. So if I'm really, really clever, I'll plug the test instrument into the back. Let's hope it's something that's fixable. He says let me know if it turns out to be a pumpkin. So, test equipment speaker. And the wire's fallen off that, so that's something to fix. And we don't have power leads here. So if they don't come in with one, it's crocodile clip time. Which you all know I enjoy shorting out. So I need to hope that we've got a mic on here. That should be a Cybernet mic. Right. So I'll just switch picture in picture on. And let's see. Well, it's transmitting audio. A bit over the top, but it's transmitting audio. And it's doing nearly 4 watts as well. So now we'll have a look whether it's somewhere on frequency. I've only just switched the test instrument on, so I wouldn't do any frequency adjustment until this has been on for half an hour. Should be 79125, 27.79125, but I don't know where the set's going to settle, so we'll give that a bit of chance. So I'll sort out my plug that's dropping off. Okay, so we're plugged in now. So go back to there and put it on channel 20 and set the signal generator to 27.79125. Actually, I'm going to set it a bit lower because we know that this instrument isn't warmed up, and it was 086 on transmit, so we'll set it to a bit nearer there so that we're getting a fair reading and not a false reading. Okay, got a noisy volume control. I don't know if there's anything I can do about that, but let's have a look at where we are with receive. So, now I'll tell you what, we'll put the SINAD meter onto this camera. Oh, it's incredible receive that. It's 0.32 microvolts for 12 decibel SINAD on that scale. Let's try the other scale. 0.34 microvolts. So we'll give it the benefit of the doubt and give it 0.33. Well, that exceeds specification by a long way. We'll use an old hymn sheet from church. Don't like to waste paper. You can tell I'm from Yorkshire originally, can't you? So beta 1000 RX is 0.34 microvolts for 12 dB SINAD. So that's that covered. So I wonder if it's the squelch not working. No, that's working very well. So TX. So I won't do the frequency because it would be unfair. Let's look at what power it's doing. Oh, it's one of those, is it? I'll just unplug the extension speaker. So we'll go on to the... It is spot on 4 watts actually. It's 4 watts. And on low power, little switch at the back on these, should be 0.4 watt. And it's 0.18. So that wants to just pop up. Deviation. Wow, good grief. 1 to wallow. So what's that? This 3 kilohertz, isn't it? That's ridiculous. Right. Well, in that case, normally I'd start with the with setting the frequency, but we won't do that. So it is actually working. I'm going to have a look at his notes from his email and just see what he's got to say about it. So we need to start with the VCO, with this set being definitely fiddled with it sometime over its life and with these alterations. So here we go. Resistor 4, it's the same as doing the Cybernet 134 chassis. It's just a compact version which is negative earth. So resistor 4, it's still resistor 4, there's still the same component numbers. We need to go into transmit. Should be 4 volts. Helps if I'm in the transmit mode on my test set. And what voltage have we got? We've got 3.47 on channel 40. Did I say we needed to be on channel 40? Well, we do. So let's just get that to... It's as near as damn it, isn't it, as it was. But I just want to be right. What am I doing? This is receive we're adjusting. So in receive mode on channel 40, we're looking for 4 volts. And that's what we have. Hopefully you can see the meter. So we're in receive. So now in transmit, we also need to have 4 volts. So we just need to adjust the trimmer capacitor, which is just there. There we go, 3.96 will do me. Let's go back to receive. We've still got, if I can get my prod on the test point, still got 4 volts. So now we need to go to channel 1 and check it's between 1.8 and 2.5 volts. So there we are, we're on receive 2.4, we're on transmit 2.4. So that's the VCO set. Normally I wouldn't have to do the VCO, but it's just that we know it's been fiddled with over the years, and he does tell me he's got limited test equipment, which is why I sent it in. So we'll just run through the transmit. So we're going to maximise the coil there, which it is. I'm sure all this is right, because the fact is it's doing 4 watts. Just making sure I'm back on channel 20, which I am. Can't remember whether that coil is receive or whether it's transmit. I'll tell you what, we'll just fiddle with it and see. It is transmit. So there we go, 4 watts. So that's it, we're done. I'm going to pause the video because it's amateur radio now. Okay, so we're back with you. Tell you what we'll do, we'll set the low power. So we've got 4 watts on normal power. So if we flick the low power switch, which is on the back on this set, it's the little preset just there. And if you remember when we tested it, it was doing 180 milliwatts, and it should be 400 milliwatts. So I've got my test set to the 3 watt range. So we're looking at about there for the correct amount of power. Can be a bit finicky and it can give you dirty, but this one's not. That's spot on 400 milliwatts. Now you set the meter, the relative power meter on the front, you set it on low power, and you set it so that it's 1 bar on low power, and it's RV3, which is this lower one. So on low power you set it to there. So now when we go to full power, that should be all 4, and that's now calibrated as they want it doing. So I reckon, the test set's now been on. I was going to say I reckon that's it, but I'll tell you what, the test set's now been on for 40 minutes. I've had a quick chat on the local net for the SCARS club, South Coast TV and Amateur Radio Society, of which I'm a member, and if you're still rabbiting in the background, you can hear it quietly on the tannoy system. So, yes, it has come up slightly. So we'll bring that on to frequency properly now, if I can find the reference crystal, which is there. Just have it very, very slightly high. 6 toggling 7, just so that it's got a bit of headroom to drop, because they do drop naturally with age. So that might be his receive problem, the fact that it was off frequency, but we're going to see, because we're going to go over to receive right now. So I'll need to plug the extension speaker back in, don't I? There we go. Okay, so we've now got the receive frequency showing on the frequency counter. 6 toggling 7, just like we've set the radio to do. So we're going to be totally accurate here. Let's go over to the we'll go over to the oscilloscope. So we'll go put 100 microvolts on the signal generator. We'll just adjust the volume till we've got a sensible trace, which is there. And now we'll find the detector coil and find a tool with which to twiddle it. So we're looking for maximum recovered audio. You know what? No, it was spot on, so that isn't his issue. So we're now going to use the SINAD meter to tune the rest of everything. Why isn't that reading? So I've put it to about 4 decibels, put the bench light back on. We'll just go for the receive. So we'll start with the front end coils, which are here. Well, they're spot on. A bit more signal for the next one. Ah, that was out. And the next one. Marginally out. And the next one. Marginally out. So I think we are there. So let's see where we are now with the sensitivity. It was 0.34 microvolts. It's no different, but I know the IFs were out very slightly, and it could have been that he was receiving lopsided because of that. So let's just go on the other scale. Yeah, it could be better. It could be a bit better. It could be. We could say it was on that scale. It's 0.29 of a microvolt for 12 dB SINAD, and on the other scale, it's 0.33. So before we'd got 0.34, 0.32. So there is a marginal improvement to sensitivity, which is superb. So look, for 20 dB SINAD, we're getting, well, 860.86 of a microvolt. It's incredible that, you know, really, really good. And let's look at for 10 dB. For 10 dB SINAD, it's about 0.27 of a microvolt, something like that. So I think, you know, if that's his RX issue, and we're going to have this on, I'm not planning to do, it's Friday evening at the moment, I'm not planning to start any more CBs till Monday, so I'm going to have it on 19 if I can stand it, in this workshop quietly, and every time I walk through I'll be able to hear it swearing or playing music, but at least I'll know whether that swearing or music playing is how I'd expect it to hear. We're not going to touch his squelch because he's got this extra board, and I'm going to leave that entirely up to him. But what we are going to do is we're going to make sure the S meter is where we want it. And at the moment it's all for 100 microvolts. So we'll go to the attenuator controls, may as well, and we'll just twiddle. Oh, I'm not getting any change. Is it? Am I turning the wrong one? Don't tell me that's would have been the squelch one. Perhaps it's that one. I'd hate to have to look at the circuit diagram. I'll tell you what we haven't done. We haven't done deviation. It was miles out. Let's just go to transmit deviation before we worry about the S meter. We'll just turn the volume down a bit. Oh, here we go. Unplug the speaker. Wallow. Want to wallow. That's it. That's where we want it. Okay, so I've been telling you wrong. They are a bit interactive, these two, but the RF meter is the front one and the S meter is the back one. So now we have got, let's just show you. Better just plug the speaker back in or we won't going to hear anything. So we've got the 4 bars for 100 microvolts and that drops straight away. Don't think those, no they aren't together, that's it. And that's 100 microvolts for our S9. So that's now calibrated, which is as calibrated as 4 LEDs is going to let you do. So we've done RF meter, S meter, we've done low power, we've done deviation. That would be squelch. I'm going to be treading very carefully here because it's this board he's put in. In electronics world, that's what it was. That's what that project was out of. It was really aimed at the Shogun, which had atrocious squelch. But there we are. Right, let's see where the squelch is. So we'll put the squelch on the radio to full. So that's 30 microvolts. We'll switch the radio to 100 microvolts. Now it doesn't come in. I don't expect this makes any difference. No. I'm not going to adjust his squelch. Actually, it doesn't come in at all ever. Dare I adjust his squelch? Have I got a tool that actually fits this standard preset? No, squelch doesn't come in at all. Right, well at full squelch the radio never opens at all, which is not good. But that's unfortunately how that squelch is working. But at the bottom end, let's just turn the signal generator off, put the squelch to the threshold. It's not easy, it's concentric. So we'll now switch the signal generator back on. Yeah, that's superb. Let's turn the squelch up. Yeah, you see that's beyond. Let's turn it to there. You've got to be a bit careful how you set that squelch with the way he's got that. So that is the set aligned. Now then, which is it the front one, is it the back one, which is the volume? See if we can get some service-sol in. Yeah, well, I think that's it. Let's get rid of picture in picture. I think that's... Okay, so having sprayed the volume control, that's now satisfactory. I need to remember that positive is nearest the case edge, and what we'll just do is we'll put the lids back on and we'll have a flick round. Let's see whether we can hear anybody. So that's now on its own speaker. Just check it's doing the power still. Voila, it's doing the deviation. We're there. So, turn off the test set. Carefully set the squelch to threshold. Put the aerial in. One niner Roger. Somebody there in the distance, probably 30 odd miles away. Well, squelch is certainly sensitive enough to pick that weak signal up on channel 26. Well, that sounds fine. So hopefully between it being off frequency slightly and the IFs being slightly out, I think the jobs are good, as they say. So there we are, Cybernet Beta1000, bit of a realignment there, and we'll be doing an on-the-air test. Don't think we're doing one till Tuesday, and it's Friday now, so we've got other things. CVs are once a week. So thanks for watching Cybernet Beta1000 from a venerable set from 1981.